So what's up, guys? It's been a little slow around here because I'm just waiting on parts, and we're kind of in the bottom stretch of it. But got it all covered up because I was shooting some stuff for the Chevelle yesterday. Got the hood and inside of the fenders, one of the doors, nose cone, and trunk all in primer yesterday. But yeah, just waiting on the fans to come in for the Trans Am, and just kind of button up some loose ends on it. I got the fuel tank out now right here, and been putting in this DW400 pump, and it's been kind of a little pain in the butt, but I think I kind of got her figured out here. So what I did is, in the factory deal here, in the factory hanger, is this rubber boot. I cut the bottom of the rubber boot out, and then I angled the pump to where the hose, or to where the strainer connection is in the very center point of this hanger, so that it'll go down in this nice and easy, because this is pretty much the freaking almost the same size. It's like a perfect fit right there. So I angled the pump to where it would center up that hole right there. That's something you're going to need to do if you're doing this. And also I had to take out the siphon tube. So one downside of that is the bucket will have to be submerged to the strainer. So once you get to a couple gallons of gas left, you may not be getting gas to your pump, so you need to be aware of that. You need to keep it pretty well topped off. I seen someone, it was with the Racetronics pump though, they just cut a hole out of the bottom, and then they were able to put the pump low enough to where the strainer was outside. But that's not going to work with this pump just the way that I have it set up. The Racetronics pump I think is a little bit longer, so I think that's how they're able to do that. But another thing is I took out the stock return pressure regulator. I took it out so that it can just be a return, because I'm using an upgraded fuel pressure regulator with a return. So you pop that deal off, there's just a little clip. I popped it out so that we won't have no issues there with the return. And also got this adapter here off of eBay, just a 3/8 quick connect GM type adapter to a -8. So, and then I also went to O'Reilly's and got this submersible fuel hose. There's a part number right there, 27097. So it's $20 for a foot of it, but if you're gonna do it, you better do it right. So I got some left over for if I ever do this again. But I got that on there, clamped up. I got the DW400 connector wired in here, heat shrink and soldered and all that good stuff. But so the siphon tube is this deal right here that sits in the bottom of the pump, or the bottom of the basket here. And I'll set it down in here so y'all can see. It's normally sitting like that down in there, and I think that's just what fills up the bottom of the basket. But and then there's a little rubber deal in the corner right there that it was like a check valve kind of thing. So if there's pressure on top of it, it's closed, and whenever it'll open up and let fuel in. But this thing from the bottom, you can literally just pop it out, like, but make sure you don't have any dust or anything in the bottom there. Blow it out real good. But so when you got the pump angled like this, you're gonna have your hose running a little bit of an angle, but that's all right because it's not kinked or nothing. You're just gonna drop this bad boy down in there like that, and it just clicks in on each side. And then you got your connectors here. Set this down. So what you'll do here is take your connector here, and you'll put this through that because you don't want it all wrapped around everything. This connects up here, and there's two little things that clip in the front and on the back to make sure it doesn't come unclipped unwanted. And then you're gonna go down in here, and you gotta find your keyway. The keyway goes towards the hose, and you gotta get your wires in here. Come on now, get it clipped in, so that's all nice and isolated in there. There's it plugged into the top, and all out of the way, all good to go. So, and another thing I was seeing online people were doing with these is using the stock feed line, because it goes all the way to the rail. using the stock feed line for the return. So this is the exact same size as this, and so it's still the 3/8. So you can take the stock feed side, and they're actually marked here, F and R, feed and return. You just clip on the feed line to this side, and then it's ran all the way up to the front, and then you, off of your my fuel pressure regulator, at least right here, it's -8 in and out, and then the return's a -6. So what you'll do is you'll get like a 1 foot -6 hose, depending on where you mount this, and you'll need a little bit of a hose with a -6 on each side. So you'll take a hose from this to the stock feed line that sits on the driver's side right there by the exhaust and the coil packs and everything, and you will need another one of these adapters to a -6 though, since my return's a -6, just depending on your return, and you'll clip that onto the factory feed line under the hood, and then you'll just have a hose run from there to there, and then it'll run all the way back to this point here. So that's a pretty easy way to do a return on these. So that's the fuel system there. So we'll get another video, get going on getting the pump back in there, and what all is going to happen with all the lines and everything. I actually had to fix a wire right here. You can see it was all chewed up. It was a rat head all chewed up, and there's a little rat nest sitting up here when I dropped the tank. So that's why I was having some emission codes a little bit here and there. I was having some issues, but that's all fixed and good to go now. So yeah, we're gonna actually drain all the gas out of this too later on today. Drain all the gas out, and so next time it starts up, I'll have to have my tuner come over and switch the map over to an E85 tune, because we're gonna go straight to E85 on it at that point. So that's a good way to do it while it's out. Just go ahead and drain all the fuel out of it, so it's 100% E85 in there to start out with, so the map's good and straight, and we know everything's gonna work right. So there's a little update for y'all, and we'll get back with some more videos.